Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
As shocking new details continue to emerge about the Texas shooter, Devin P. Kelley, it seems that the biggest bombshell was most recently dropped. Unfortunately, much of the country won't be made aware since the liberal media is keeping a tight lid on where Kelley was back in 2012, and the reason for staying quiet is downright disturbing. The liberal media is proving once again their coverage is based on opinion rather than facts these days, making sure to ignore things that hurt their narrative and overinflate things that progress it. Well, it's hard to know what's actually going on if you listen to networks like CNN and MSNBC. Of course, what these leftist networks need to thrive as a business and continue promoting their agenda are mindless sheep who simply digest what they have to say without a second thought, and sadly, they've got quite a few followers who seem willing to do just that. Too bad for them, the ratings are tanking as people are waking up, but it can't happen soon enough as they are still adamant when it comes to lying to the American people. Proving that most recently is the one thing that the liberal media isn't telling people about Devin Kelley. At this point, we've learned quite a bit about his motives, how he illegally obtained a gun, and the sick things he did inside the church at the time of the shooting, pacing up and down the island firing on the bodies as they lay dead, hoping not to leave a single person alive. As if that wasn't bad enough, we've also been made aware of the deranged monster that this man really is, as it was revealed that he previously cracked his 1-year-old stepson's skull open. We also know that he was court-martialed for this and dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Air Force, but it seems that there's a bit more to this story that the left doesn't want you to know. According to the Daily Caller, Kelley was institutionalized while he was in the U.S. Air Force after being charged with assaulting his wife and baby stepson, back in 2012. Yes, you read that right. This nut job was locked away in the Peak Behavioral Health Services, a mental facility in New Mexico, after the courts learned what he had done. Oddly enough, the Gateway pundit reports that Kelley was able to escape the facility and made it all the way to El Paso, Texas, before being caught, but there's just one disturbing reason the liberal media won't want you to know this. As it turns out, this was yet another reason why Kelley should not have been able to buy a gun under current gun control regulations. As we all know, the left is pushing for more gun control, but it's already been established that this guy shouldn't have been able to own a gun under current laws. So, how would one more law have stopped him if all the others didn't? With the most recent facts coming to light, there are now more questions to be answered. Mad World News previously reported that Kelley got his guns by lying on the form gun owners have to fill out before purchasing a firearm. Sadly, the Air Force, under the Obama administration, didn't report the crime to the NICS database, which lets the FBI know who can and can't own a firearm at the time of a background check, essentially allowing the man to pass through undetected. With the newly revealed facts, one has to wonder how he purchased the firearm given question 11F on the firearms transaction record, since anyone who has been committed to a mental institution isn't allowed to own guns either. Furthermore, the incident was put into the FBI's National Crime Information Center database, meaning this information was known by the feds. Essentially, what this means is that there were multiple failures on a government level that allowed this man to get a gun that he had no right to own. At this point, we have to wonder who is responsible for this multi-level blowout that resulted in such a catastrophe. The left wants to talk about gun control, but that shouldn't be the topic of conversation here, seeing how there are already gun laws in place that should have stopped Kelley from getting a gun. Instead, maybe we ought to focus on the reason these laws didn't stop him, and why it all seems to point to failures that took place under former President Barack Obama's administration. Share the story and leave a comment by clicking one of the buttons below. Follow us on Facebook at Mad World News.